Hello and welcome to the stream. My name is Lavender Labia, although my gynecologist calls me Patient Zero. I am required by law to give the following content warning. The following is a live game. It contains scenes included, but hopefully not limited to, gratuitous and unnecessary over-sexualization of sundry details, references to historical terrorist events, and the following sexual proclivities: acrotomophilia, capnolagnia, cremastistophilia, eproctophilia, fictophilia, gerontophilia, hematolagnia, hoplophilia, hybristophilia, kleptophilia, mechanophilia, and celerophilia, and also references to the reliability of Italian automobiles. Now, let's say hello to our first player. We found this one spray painting Cornish independence graffiti on the waters of the Severn Estuary. Say hello, Dirk Vanguard.
Good afternoon. Hello. I mean, that's not the only thing that's on the waters of the Severn Estuary, but
And lots of Tory shit, I imagine.
yeah.
Yes, and I imagine you jacked off on top of it.
Dirk Vanguard, infiltration expert.
Lovely, lovely. Now, for our next player, we have the inspiration for Mel Gibson himself, a born and bred independence-seeking migrant to Scotland. Hello,
What?
Kyle.
What? What? I am not a migrant. I'm a Scotsman born abroad. There is a difference. Yes,
I'm sure.
Kyle Resnick, engineer.
Lovely. Now, our next player is from a small rock that already has its independence, but if you ever visit, you wouldn't know that. Let's say hello to Bitrate.
You kind of got a point there.
I do. And lastly, and the reason we don't all speak German right now, we have a citizen of Italy.
Hello, everybody.
Now, before we begin, here are some of the latest news headlines from our in-game world. Prince King has lost his prince title in a poker game. King says it somehow feels like I won. The Star Trek franchise has been voted the second best Star Trek franchise at a Star Trek convention. A bank clerk has been fired after tipping over a customer who asked for a balance check. And you are the most valued... I'm sorry, I got that wrong. You are the most valued employee, says a highly paid manager to each of his staff after remembering to do their yearly review for the first time this decade. And now I'll hand you over to our GM, who will try to remember what happened last week and won't. And we'll get Giorgio to do it instead. Tell you what, Giorgio, why don't you just go right ahead with the recap?
All right. Since I wanted to spare my fellow players the delight of having to summarize what happened last week. Okay, but before we start, if I remember correctly, the GM told me that I was to decide who does the recap next week. So I decided I wanted to roll a d10. 1 to 3 is going to be Phil. 4 to 6 is going to be Ronnie. 7 to 9 is going to be Jason. And 10 is going to be Becky, the GM. It's a 2. Sorry, Phil. But okay. Last week, if I don't recall, I have strong feelings about last week's session because I felt very stupid throughout the whole session because we were tasked with find the entrance to the secret lab. We were told different times in the same way where the entrance was. We fucked it up. We tried to force an elevator to open in order to see down the shaft if there was some sort of trap door or back door or whatever you want to call it. And instead, we had to pay fines for destruction of public property by robot that now goes way faster than it should, thanks to Kyle, who promised some upgrades in exchange for us not to pay the fine. And then we got the fine as well, and a super fast police robot. Thank you very much. Thank God it's not really able to control it, though, but we'll get to that in a second. Once we find the actual entrance for this secret lab, we find that we don't have a suitable vehicle to access it. And then dropping ragdoll is not really suitable. So we go to the crazy kiosk in order to acquire some efficient method for us to do that. Really, I didn't, but Dirk spent a lot of money for us to acquire. I don't recall what we bought in the end. If it was jetpacks or the suit thingy.
I think it was jetpacks, wasn't it? Because we had to go up and
Jetpacks.
down.
Okay, so instead of splatting ourselves to the ground, now we can make ourselves explode. But other than that, am I mistaken in thinking that we blow something up in the end of the session? Because if I recall, okay, because I recall that we placed some sort of charges near a wall that we know hosted the shaft down to the
the atrium shaft
to the secret lab. Yes, and everything exploded, and I believe we left it there. Yes,
we left it there at the moment that we're about to hit the button, and that was the moment which I decided the session was, about done. So, I wanted to also just sort of give you a kind of a representation of the 6.9 Why Let a Period Spoil a Good Time shop, just so you can kind of get a visual idea of what it looks like. So I generated this image. As you can see, there's an angry customer there. So it's quite a plush little shop. And it's if you imagine it like a hotel foyer, you've got a reception desk. It's all kind of nice and oldie worldy. You've got like a lift, and you've got the stairs, and that's kind of all that's in this downstairs environment. And yes, just next to that lift shaft, Dirk has placed some explosives and has, I believe, just pressed the button. Now, one thing on that, Dirk, when you bought them, I just have a question. You decided to go for the British ones, which I said were 50 credits each, but they come in packs of 10.
Right, okay.
And I was a bit confused at the time as why you went for that, because it was a more expensive option. Because I thought you were trying to save money, and I kind of put the British ones in as a joke. And so I just want to check. You did deduct 500 credits for that, right?
Yeah. Because I was just assuming the cheap ones weren't going to work.
I mean, I would just assume the British ones wouldn't work myself, but okay. I mean, that like the fact that you've paid 500 does kind of make me want to like not make them all explode now, which is kind of what I was going to do in between sessions, but never mind.
Yeah, I did spend an awful lot of money last one.
Yeah, I think you've paid enough for it to kind of mostly work. However, you're still going to have to do an intelligence plus support weapons roll because it's a support weapon.
Intelligence support. Oh dear. So we've got that is a pass by 1.
Okay, right. There's going to be a big boom. So let me show you what what Bologna Regis kind of looks like now, if I can find an appropriate thing. So let me give you an idea of the scene you're disrupting with this explosion. This is a nice street view of Bologna Regis. So, it's got that kind of nice Italian cafe culture going on, but it's the future, and there's neon lights, and big tower there is one of the towers. And what I'll also do is I'll show you how it lights up at night. See, I've been busy with the AI art generation to try and give a bit more visual for this, for this week. So here we go. Here's them lit up at night. This is just a projection of hologram adverts on the right there. These are the two towers being all kind of dominant and stuff on the skyline. So there you go. You kind of get an idea for the world you're in. And yes, there's a huge explosion on the atrium wall because it was made by Italians. Behind the atrium wall was the old historic wall with some Michelangelo art, which is blown through as well. Because I don't know why the Italians seem to put like Michelangelo art behind everything, and then cover it up with a bit of magnolia paint, but that seems to be their thing. So that's what happens. You tear through a few tens of £1 million worth of painting and a thin brick wall, which was in no way. I think we just lost Ronnie.
Yeah, it just disappeared.
Yeah, he said things are overwhelming him.
Oh. Okay, let's end the stream here, and we'll chat after.
Okay.
Right. So sorry for the short session. We'll carry on talking. I'm just going to end the stream. We can start another one up if need be.